So do you guys remember when we covered this story of Europe is starting to have enough of the U.S. obvious grift. Not obviously there's a few cowards who go along with it, but the fact that you even see leaks like this happen, I covered the leaks regard that Politico reported as well of NATO members who are not American questioning the decisions of the United States of having NATO focus their war on China. So you're starting to see the cracks form in this transatlantic alliance. Meanwhile, BRICS is going strong. Just throw that out there. So Europe accuses U.S. of
Nice.
profiting from war. This is a story we reported on. Now, there's a few things I want to add to this story, which is very interesting. This is Zelensky, the biggest grifter of all time. Zelensky says rebuilding Ukraine will cost more than $1 trillion. And he wants the West to help. Zelina said they want sanctions on Russia to help rebuild Ukraine. Zelensky's begging for donations. Meanwhile, why no one bringing the fact who's going to rebuild Syria, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan? You guys know how they never mentioned rebuilding those states? So you have Zelensky with his handout and the Western oligarchs who are becoming rich, their friends are becoming rich, are going along with it. In Europe, they see what's going on. We see what's going on despite the censorship from the mainstream media. There have been massive protests in France and Germany. I don't know if you saw this, CJ, but look at this. There was an artist in France that drew this. You see Zelensky draining all their money. I don't know if you guys see it. That's a
Yeah, I can see his face.
He drew. That's so amazing. They drew that.
Oh, he put that on the street.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is dope.
And it said Black Hole Zelensky on the streets of France. French artists have painted a hyper-realistic portrait of the leader of the Kiev regime. That's a funny caption. Hello, France, give me all your money. So it's something that's beyond obvious that this Ukraine war is not about protecting Ukrainian people. It's about making the oligarchs rich. It's about funneling money to the military-industrial complex and upholding U.S. Western hegemony. Now, you had the midterms, and now Kevin McCarthy is House Speaker. And because the far right in the Republican Party, unlike the quote-unquote progressives in the Democrat Party, they actually want to push their leaders. They're actually trying to win. The progressive left try to lose. The right tries to win. So they were pushing Kevin McCarthy to put basic auditing on the Ukraine aid. And this led to Democrats and the corporate media melting down. Now, this is a short story. I think it's funny, though. This is the story that we didn't get to cover on Monday. Biden administration scrambles to track $20 billion in Ukraine as House Republicans warn of audits. And look at this. Biden's administration reportedly inspected just 10% of the weapons going to Ukraine. This is the corruption that the NATO left voted for. You have weapons flooded the black market in Eastern Europe. But then Democrats will say we're against gun violence. You got Nazis that's going to be armed for years because of the lack of accountability. And I'm going to ask you guys this question. Actually, not even a question. Do you guys really think the United States cared about accountability throughout this? They knew the market was going to be flooded. They don't care because Raytheon and Boeing get their money. So
they're not going to get killed. They just workers around the world will get killed. They know that.
And this is, and I want to emphasize this too, because Republicans have gone along with the Ukraine money laundering scheme as well. They're doing this to make Biden look bad because they want to say, "Oh, look, Biden didn't track the money. He's not being smart with the money." But a lot of them still support the Ukraine aid. To be fair, now let's get to I'll read the first two paragraphs.
I don't expect this audit. I don't expect them to actually audit anybody in the Democratic Party and hold any one of these people accountable. Like, we already know people accountable, especially at as a president. Like, you're not going to hold a president accountable. You guys are going to make this. This is going to be our new episode of their political theater. They're going to run and jump and hop and sing for us, but at the end of the day, nobody's gonna actually face any consequences.
So I actually, when I first read this article, I never watched the videos, so I actually did not watch this video, but I'm gonna play it. This is interesting. Going for a minute. Look at the sub headline here. So I did not watch this video. Let's see what they say. It said, remember, this is from Fox News. And if you watch Fox News, I do upload research on them regarding Ukraine too. That is why I don't buy this narrative that Republicans are against it, because they do Ukraine propaganda the same way MSNBC and CNN does. Look at the sub headline here, and this is what sparked my interest in at least dive into this video. Look, Putin weaponizing winter. Putin is a great weather sorcerer. Putin weaponizing the cold.
Who's this nigga? Ice King from Adventure Time now?
This motherfucker storm, bro. This motherfucker Sub-Zero apparently. So that's why I literally didn't see this. So I'm kind of improvising here because I'm actually super curious. Like if I would do my research before the show, I would definitely watch this. But I did not watch. Oh, let's see. We may not watch the whole thing. I want to see the propaganda they attempt to do. If you guys don't mind. What the fuck? Hold
On mute.
Yeah, the sound. Is it supposed to have sound? Maybe it's not. I don't know if it's.
Oh, you guys can hear it? Fuck. You guys
yeah.
Can... What the fuck? I thought I turned the sound on. Oh, let me fix it. Fuck.
Mike got or Nick got that fancy mic.
Dude, I don't know why it'd be messing up. I don't know why it'd be messing up sometimes. I swear I did everything right that time. But anyway, let's try it again.
War in Ukraine.
There we go. We can hear it.
Retired Lieutenant General and Fox News contributor Keith Kellogg. General, thanks for being here. I want to show our viewers just the amazing space images we have of the power outage Greg was talking about. You can see Ukraine there in the middle of the screen. Dark. Really, really dark. General, it seems Vladimir Putin is weaponizing winter to make Ukrainian civilians really suffer.
Yeah, Griff, thanks for having me. Look, I just talked to somebody today on Odessa and down here, and they've got 1/3 of the power right now in the city. You look at it, Kiev's got 1/3.
Just real quick. You see how they acknowledge something I brought up on this show multiple times to debunk the knowledge, the idea that the people waging war care about the Ukrainian people? How are you guys winning when the Ukrainians in Russian territory actually have power and heat while you guys don't? How is that? And you watch the segment literally after this, and they will say, well, Russia's getting their ass kicked. But Ukraine's victory is directly dependent on the fact where they get weapons and how long can they citizens uphold this barrage by Russia and the fact they don't have energy and power. They want to sacrifice Ukrainians. You had Zelensky that said that Ukrainians are willing to be cold. They want to burden the harsh winters for the next 2 to 3 years. You guys see how they're admitting that this war is horrific for the Ukrainians, but they don't care. I think that's interesting. Let me continue the video. Like I didn't see this yet, so let's continue.
They said if you could turn it up. I don't know if you have it all the way up, but the couple of comments said if you can turn the volume up.
I think the video just kind of low.
It could be just an old quality, bad quality sound.
Yeah. I need to get one of those apps that help me increase the audio, but I got all my shit maxed. So I won't watch too much of it. I just want maybe the next 30 seconds because I think they already made a point that I think is interesting, where they openly admitting that Ukrainians are suffering because of this war, but they want to keep the war going forever. What does that tell you guys? So I'll just watch a little bit more of it and I'll get back to the main point.
Got 1/3 of the power in Kyiv as well. And you saw in that picture from the overhead how dark it is. I mean, it looks like not just a third or fourth world country. And that's all because of what Putin is doing. And Putin is targeting infrastructure, civilian infrastructure, not military, and he's targeting civilians. But I think he's making a huge mistake. All this is doing is increasing the resolve of Ukrainian civilians and their military and their government.
Bruh, I cannot emphasize how much it's psychotic. Because if you watch a lot of these segments, you will see them use the same term. Ukrainians, they're hardening their resolve. How do you guys know that? Do you guys talk to every fucking Ukrainian? They're Ukrainians just suffering who want this conflict to end. That's why Zelensky won, because he won on a peace platform. There are Ukrainians that just want this shit to end. But what I hear constantly, because I'm trying to explain to you guys, I know you guys don't watch corporate news like I do. What they keep saying constantly, well, Putin making a mistake. The only thing they're gonna do is increase the resolve of the Ukrainians by making their life harder. And then the West, the people in the West, they'll say, "Oh my God, the Ukrainian people are so brave. They are sacrificing so much so we can defeat Russia." They will say this all the time, but then they will look at us and say and pretend that we don't care about the Ukrainian people. Do you guys see how these people, the people who want to go Russia, they literally do not care about the Ukrainian people. Go ahead, CJ.
I was gonna say a good analogy that what I'm envisioning is that have you two, Rome or Nick, have you ever seen a fight or been in a fight or seen a fight where there's a person is about to fight somebody maybe, but they have a friend behind them pushing them. Come on, man, hit him! Like, look, you hear what he said about you? Go, yeah, like, but the friend that's pushing him ain't the one about to get his ass whooped. He ain't the one that's about to catch these punches, catch these kicks to the gut. That's what the United States is doing. They're the ones that's pushing the person. Hey, yeah, go ahead, do this fight. They're not going to have any of the injuries at all.
Yeah.
And I love that they bringing up the winner because they're going to try to pull out every excuse of why they can't pull out the right propaganda of Ukraine winning, right? Because this winter is going to be hard. We know damn near nobody can fight Russia in a winter. And to say that he's weaponized, I think Ukraine and Russia damn near got the same weather. They get the same type of weather. So, you know.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ron, because we all knew this was coming. CJ, what did we say months ago when people were saying Russia is losing? I'm like, what's going to happen in the winter? Every single Ukraine flag account was ignoring that. Meanwhile, we will bring this up months, literally in the summer. I was like, okay, what are you guys going to do in 5 months? They was like, nah, nigga, we be good. Nigga. We don't give a fuck about no winter, nigga. Fuck that winter, nigga. We be good. Yep. Meanwhile, when the winter hits, and now they're like, Putin is weaponizing the weather. What do you guys think was going to happen? We told you guys. That's why you have to negotiate, because you're not going to beat Russia in the winter. Ask the Nazis how that went. You guys see how these people lack thinking? You had the NATO left cheering this on. We got to stand up with the Ukrainian people because they might be able to beat Russia, even though the winter is coming. We warned you guys this months ago. Months ago, I did statements about this.
The winter is coming, and 300,000 Russian troops are on the way, and I don't see them getting out of this. I see this end up being a clean sweep.
Yeah.
I think Russia is getting ready to sweep this up, getting ready to end this because, or getting ready to go to the next foe. Because Ukraine doesn't even have an army.
So I'm gonna get to the last part now. I can wrap this segment up. I'm gonna get to the last part. I kind of went off the rails, but I'm gonna get back to the main story, and then we can wrap this up. And I'll pass to you, CJ. I don't know. I'm not really sure why they play that video because that video not really related to the story. I thought it would be kind of, but it's still interesting because you see them acknowledging something that RBN said a long time ago. And now, instead of acknowledging that this is because they're tactical failing, they're now blaming Putin for being some sort of weather sorcerer, even though everyone knew winter was coming. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read a little bit of this paragraph so you guys can see the clown shit going on. I think literally reading the first few paragraphs will say anything, right? The Biden administration is scrambling to track nearly $20 billion in military aid is sent to Ukraine as Republicans warn of impending audits when they take control of the House in January. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has said his party would not be giving Ukraine a blank check to fend off Russia's invasion. A potential audit will determine how much, if any, of the U.S. aid is ending up in the wrong hands. You guys see how this is the part that makes them panic. The U.S., any audits that make sure that people are not illicitly benefiting from this war, like they currently are. There have been reports of Ukrainian government officials buying real estate in Switzerland, in Sweden. Nigga, they know Ukraine is going down. They know it is. And then when it goes down, they're going to get their mansion in Sweden and Switzerland, and they're out of there. Anyway, let me continue. Just to make this segment a little bit shorter.
I don't think Putin's going to let him live. I honestly don't. I think he's going to get him.
Yeah, Zelensky fucked up because I don't know if you know, early in the war, Like,
you sure it's gonna be Putin though?
Well,
I was thinking it was
somebody
gonna
gonna
be
get
the
him.
United
Somebody gonna
States
get him
or
for Putin.
somebody on his side from the Nazi
Yeah,
Nazi group.
that
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was thinking. Go
dude,
ahead.
a theory I have, and once again, hint, only theory. Once the West start losing support for this war, Zelensky might go. And then they're gonna say Russians killed Zelensky, that's why we gotta escalate war. Well, then that's just a theory. I got no evidence for that. I'm telling you that is a very distinct possibility. And Russia, and to my point about making earlier, where you said Rome, Ukraine and the West really fucked up because what the mainstream media didn't tell you, when the war first started, Putin said that he's okay with Zelensky maintaining power. Do you guys know that? I listened to his speeches. None of the corporate media covered that. The first month or two, he said Zelensky can maintain leadership as long as he stopped NATO expansion, as long as he stopped being puppet of the West. Then Putin gave a speech maybe a few weeks ago where he said, "Yeah, that's y'all at the table now." No, you could maintain power, Zelensky, but you sold out your people. You became puppet of the West. Now you got to go one way or another, either in the casket or you leaving. So that's to your point, Rome. I'm gonna read just a few more of these paragraphs and I'll pass to you for your story, CJ. It said the Republican. Oh, where did I leave up? Yeah, I left off right here. The Biden administration previous tracking efforts have expected only a fraction of the aid provided to the country. Bernie has no questions about that, though, apparently. The Republican push to ramp up oversight enjoys some bipartisan support in Congress. Some staunch Ukraine allies fear the party will cut off aid to the country entirely. Good. So now, this is the present part. This is the last part I read of this article. Marjorie Taylor Greene has vowed to hold our government accountable for Ukraine spending. Why am I forced to read that sentence? You know what I would like to read? I would like to read AOC said she's gonna make sure she hold the U.S. government accountable, but I can't do that. Unfortunately, we gotta say Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing it.